You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Thanks for taking the time. Can you first of all remind us about your injury? What happened and when?
Thanks for having me on, Piney. So in June I ruptured my Achilles. So I've been out for a wee while now. I think it's just over 6 months of rehabbing and working to get myself back ready to be able to play. So hopefully a target just early January is the target at the moment to come back and start playing again. Looking forward to getting back out there, hopefully.
I bet you are. So what does rehab from an Achilles injury consist of? What have you had to do over the last 6 months or so?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. There's a time in a moon boot where you just completely limit the movement of the ankle and the Achilles, and then so it's very gradual, slowly introducing walking, and then some calf raises, a lot of calf raises, and some isometric holds and stuff like that. And then, more recently it's been a gradual return to run program. You start off pretty slowly and pretty small steps, and then you go from there. But it's been an interesting process, and you sort of just keep ticking off milestones along the way. So that's probably one thing that's been quite good, is you always feel like you're moving forward, because it gradually increases the distance that you can cover in a day, or the amount of reps that you can do if you suddenly start jumping. And so it has been an interesting process, but certainly one that I'm happy to see a finish line in sight.
I bet. So have you hit all the milestones? When you did it and when you first had your consultations around rehab and recovery, are you on target? Was that what they thought, early Jan?
Yeah. So the expected recovery time's between 6 and 9 months. I'm sort of at the higher end of that, which is quite nice. And it's one of those things you sort of have to see how you respond to the stimulus and the strength stimulus that you're trying to put into it. So it is a little bit of play it by ear, but we've been pretty fortunate that my body's responded well to the stuff that we've been doing. So it's been as good as it could be, really.
So I saw you in the net. So I saw some social media or just some photos the other week of you in the net. So can you bowl? Can you bat? That sort of stuff? Yeah, no,
I'm feeling really good. It's been a gradual process of getting back into the net. So I've actually been hitting balls for a couple of months now, and bowling as well. So it's just sort of the hardest part is getting the time on the legs and not overdoing that from an Achilles point of view. So fielding is probably the one that is the hardest to sort of get back to. It, those explosive movements that the Achilles sometimes doesn't love. So that's probably the one thing that sort of takes a little bit longer, I guess.
I was going to say just stand in the slips, but you can't really do that in T20, can you?
yeah. You can do that for an over or two. But
yeah, exactly.
Logan looked like he was catching pretty well there yesterday, so it'll be tough to kick him out of there.
Indeed. You were playing all three forms for New Zealand at the time of the injury. So how challenging has it been to miss so much international cricket, potentially, including a 50-over World Cup?
Yeah, it is challenging. I think I came into the New Zealand side a little bit later than probably most from a career point of view. So I think missing any game for New Zealand for me is particularly gutting, because obviously you know how hard it is to get there and how much you appreciate each game. So the World Cup obviously adds a little bit more to that, but I think any game that you miss playing is a real shame. So it has been tough, but it's been awesome to watch the guys playing so well as well. So hopefully I can get back there when I'm ready, and then hopefully contribute to some more good performances for New Zealand.
It was such a shame because in the 15 months or so before that injury, you'd broken into the New Zealand side, first of all in one-dayers, then Test matches, then T20s, played over 40 matches across the formats. How do you reflect on that period in your cricket career, which, as you mentioned then, had begun your first-class career over a decade previously?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty proud of the way that I went about it. I just tried to use those experiences that I've found in domestic cricket and really just try and be myself out there in the international stage. I think that's the biggest challenge really is to just go out and try and play the way that you want to play, whatever team you play for. So yeah, that's probably what I'm most proud of is I was trying to be as authentic as I can be to the brand that I want to play, and I feel like that gives you the best chance for success.
And without wanting to put the cart before the horse, New Zealand have 5 T20s against Pakistan in January, a couple of tests against South Africa, then T20s and test matches against Australia. It's probably a silly question. How keen are you to be involved in international cricket again this summer, if that's possible?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to really appreciate being out there on the field again. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. Having these injuries, you have to appreciate the small things. Like the first milestone was being able to walk again and those sorts of things. And it'll be very much the same with my return to cricket. Getting back out on the field and running around with the lads for Wellington will be awesome. And then I'll just try and take everything in my stride a little bit and just really appreciate being back out on the field and playing again. So yeah, obviously playing for New Zealand is the end goal, but hopefully I can cross that bridge when I come to it.
Just while I've got you, can I ask you about a couple of your Wellington teammates? Tim Robinson is the first one. I really enjoyed chatting to him on the show last weekend after his incredible 139, which almost knocked you off the top of the pile as far as top T20 domestic scores are concerned. He got 30 not out against Otago the other day as well off 16 balls in that small chase. Did you see this coming from Tim Robinson?
Yeah, he's actually he's a great bloke, and he's worked really hard this winter on some things. He's made no secret of the fact that he had a tough season last year, and he went away and really looked at his game critically and worked out where he could improve. And I think we're starting to see the results of that now. He's very clear on how he wants to play his cricket, and I think in particular the white ball stuff really suits his game. He loves to take the game on and play with freedom. And he's a pretty impressive ball striker, and it looks so effortless when he's batting. So all the work that he's put in is really paying dividends. And he just looks like he's really enjoying his cricket, which is great to see.
And Nathan Smith, the other day in Alexandra, 4 overs, a maiden, which is so rare in T20, but 4 for 5 as Wellington humbled Otago for 47. Could Nathan Smith, could he make the step? Does he feel like a player to you who could make the step up to international cricket?
Yeah, absolutely. He's bowling beautifully. He's bowled well all season, to be fair. He's started the Plunket Shield off really strongly with both bat and ball, and he's just really continued that form on. So it's great to see him come back after a pretty long layoff with an injury. So yeah, he's really fit and bowling pretty quickly now as well, which is great to see. And obviously when he's swinging the ball, it's very tough for opposition sides to get on top of him, which is what we saw the other day. So yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye on, Piney. He's playing great cricket, and he's in a great headspace at the moment as well.
And the last one is Rachin Ravindra. You've seen him come through the Wellington system, an absolutely outstanding World Cup, and picked up in the recent IPL auction as well. Presumably this was no surprise to see Rachin play so well in the World Cup?
Yeah, no, there was no surprise to anyone who knows Rachin. He's a very, very hard worker, and has quite a wise head on his shoulders for such a young guy, and no situation seems to faze him too much. He's pretty down to earth, and I guess to have that success in the first game of the World Cup is one thing, but then to continue that form on throughout the whole World Cup and then not get bogged down by the expectation of how he was going, and just keep churning out the runs like he did is pretty exceptional for a guy of his age. But yeah, he works harder than anyone that I've seen. So it's just reward for all the effort that he's put in. He's a great kid, and it's awesome to see all that work that he's put in paying off. And yeah, everyone in Wellington and New Zealand, I assume, would be very proud of the way that he goes about it, and how he's done over the last 6 months in particular.
All right, let's just circle back to you to finish. I'm just looking at Wellington's schedule. Away games against Northern on the 2nd, Auckland on the 4th, Central on the 8th of January, and then Canterbury on the 11th. So 4 away games before you get back to the Basin on the 13th. So without wanting to break any embargoes here or anything like that, when are we potentially likely to see you back in the Wellington side?
Yeah, hopefully one of those couple of games early on in January. We just have a few more little milestones to tick off before we can really confirm it. But yeah, aiming early January at this stage, which is pretty exciting.
Absolutely, it is. Hey, Michael, great to chat. I can hear your family in the background clamouring for your attention as well. So thanks for taking our call, and I look forward to seeing you back out there for the Firebirds first of all, and then hopefully for New Zealand as well.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Piney. Cheers.
Thank you, Michael. Michael Bracewell there. That's good news.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.